Hey, good evening. I'm Dan Fitzpatrick here at StockMarketMentor.com, and I'm just back from a week off from the market, which is something that I highly recommend you take every so often. Keeps your mind fresh. Anyway, but I want to get back to our good friend CyberArk Software, an Israeli IT security firm. Anyway, new highs today. I just think this works. I've thought this since this breakout. I think I've been covering it actually since this breakout, and it works. It's what I call a good IPO trading stock or strategy here, which is one that I kind of invented just because I've never heard about it before. After the stock hits it, when it first opens, when it first starts trading, a lot of times, it's going to get to what I call an enthusiasm high. Sometimes, like in the case of Palm, the enthusiasm high was the opening print and the stock goes straight down to zero. It's like the worst thing imaginable. But usually you'll get a stock during the first a couple days, sometimes the first couple weeks, where a stock will be rallying, and then at some point, only after the fact, it becomes apparent that the stock has made like its initial run. It's made its initial move higher. Now it's pulling back, and you use that high as a reference point, wherever that is. Here we're looking at this. So you use that high as a reference point, and then you follow the stock. Because at some point, unless the stock pulls a palm, goes straight to zero, at some point the stock's going to push above that level. And a lot of times it will do just this. It will push above the level, and it won't just keep going. It'll push above the level, and it'll pull back. Sometimes, and I can't think of any examples to show you right now, there are many. Sometimes the stock will do this 2 or 3 times, push up above it, and then drift down. Same thing. But it's like this price, this, initial, again, what I call enthusiasm high, it's like a magnet for stocks to come up to and to come down to. But once the stock starts moving above that level, above here, well, what's it doing? Then every darn day is an all-time high. Okay? And what this illustrates to you is all of these folks that wanted to sell have sold. Those that bought right at the top. Essentially the profit taking, the loss taking from folks who bought at the highs and now are unhappy and they're selling. Those guys are all gone because the stock is moving up. It's moving higher. So here, like right now, I would look at 42 bucks as new support for this stock. If the stock trades down a little bit below 42, then you got to kind of rethink your strategy here, at least on this IPO type analysis that I use. But the stock's working. After the kind of move that it had today, almost 10%, expect a little backing and filling. Be ready for it. But it could very well just keep going, because stocks on flat days, stocks don't make 10% moves to the upside unless there's some serious money behind it. So this is one I think you just want to stay long. I know a lot of you guys, well, at least, those of you that are listening to this video, those of you that aren't, well, you're not going to hear me anyway. So if you're watching this video, a lot of you hopefully have been long this stock for a while. I would just say stay long. It's working. And as long as something's working, then just let it work. Because sticking, and listen to me here, sticking with a trade that's working is a heck of a lot easier than finding another trade that you think is going to work. You always want to be the lazy trader. If you've got a trade that's working, just let it work. Don't be so hyperactive that you've always got to find the next big thing. Sometimes the next big thing is just more profits in your portfolio from holding on to the last big thing until it becomes like a bad thing. Anyway, that's it here, and I will see those of you who are Stock Market Mentor members in the forum tomorrow, and don't forget to check out the strategy session tonight. Got some things to say about biotech and actually some regional banks.